What is up, everybody? It's Universe TV here today. So we're going to talk about this clip that's been circulating on Twitter. Apparently, you have a comedian now who is now trashing Microsoft's Game Pass and how it's going to monopolize the industry. Once again, Xbox bad, Game Pass is doom and gloom for the gaming industry. So, wow, such an original take right here. But let's see what this guy said in this post right here. So he says, I made a short video on why I believe the Microsoft Activision purchase is a lot more worrying than many seem to think. I'm assuming it says too long, didn't read. Microsoft can use the massive cash advantage to definitely sell games at a loss via Game Pass, undercutting and monopolizing the industry Amazon style. So let's see this gem of a video this guy has posted here that people are talking about.
So I've been thinking a lot about how Microsoft just bought Activision, one of the world's largest video game publishers, and I think that news is a lot more frightening than most people realize.
Frightening.
Like I see people worrying, oh, what if they make Call of Duty an Xbox exclusive? But that's not the issue. The issue is that Microsoft can use Activision to undercut the rest of the entire video game industry and build a monopoly. See, most publishers sell their games for...
This monopoly word, what is with these guys with this monopoly nonsense, bro? Like... how is Microsoft anywhere near a monopoly with all the game industries studios around? They're legit game companies that would not bring their service to Xbox, bring their games to Xbox because Sony puts their money down and keeps these games off Xbox specifically. So, but if people want to scream monopoly, there are so many gaming companies in the game industry, but Microsoft just has a monopoly now. This is complete and utter. It's just so ridiculous. Like, wow. Let's continue with this nonsense.
$60 or $70, which they have to do because the games cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make and years of effort. But Microsoft has recently disrupted that strategy by introducing a service called Game Pass, where you can get hundreds of games for just $9.99 a month.
Subscription services, Microsoft definitely were, like subscription services don't even, just don't occur in any other industry, movies, music. There's even food subscription services. There's book subscription services, but there's even water subscription services. But Game Pass and Microsoft is just completely just destroying the industry like those other subscription services. I think with other subscription services in those different industries, they go just fine. But apparently for this one, it's just completely just ruining the industry now, which is fascinating that these guys will literally just say this. Let's continue.
And now they're buying up game publishers so they can put their games on the service. Microsoft has bought so many game studios that they now own...
Does he care that Netflix does the same thing? Does he care that Netflix does the same thing? Probably not. Or Spotify, or Hulu, Amazon, streaming service, movie streaming services, Disney Plus. Does he care? Nope. But Microsoft is the ultimate doom and gloom. Is going to destroy everything now. Let's continue.
Doom, Wolfenstein, Quake, Halo, Call of Duty, Elder Scrolls Fallout, Diablo, Hearthstone, Overwatch, StarCraft, Warcraft, World of Warcraft, Psychonauts, Guitar Hero, Dishonored, Minecraft, Gears of War, Tony Hawk, and Zork. Remember Zork?
And so he's been super dramatic about the games that Microsoft owns now. But you can literally do the same thing any other company, either Sony or Nintendo. You can list a long list of games, and it's like, oh, they're supposed to be super dramatic. They own a lot of stuff. And Sony owns a lot, and Nintendo owns a lot. What's the point with that? Like, I think this is mainly attached for like people who are just dumb or people who just know very little about video games. That's what his audience is right here. But it's like you can do the same thing any other company. Even not even the big three, you can do it the same thing with like EA or like Capcom. Do the same thing along list of games. It's like, what's the big deal with that? Like, this is so disingenuous, man.
It doesn't matter if Call of Duty is also available on PlayStation. If you can get it for $9.99 instead of $70 and get hundreds of other games too, that's what you're going to do. The deal is just too good to pass up. Now I can...
Yeah, if you got both consoles, some people don't want to buy multiple consoles. Like some people would just trash Xbox on a daily basis and not give them any credit and stick with their PlayStation. They can do that, but... everybody's not gonna go to Game Pass. It's like people just still want to just do all physical. So it's like you have that option, sure, but it's like I just don't understand why does this dude care so much, bro? It's like, how is this destroying the industry? It's like I'm just not seeing it. It's like people are just clout chasing. If this guy's a comedian, like why is he talking about video games? No, I'm just not getting it. But let's continue on.
Hear what you're going to say next. You're saying Sony and Nintendo just need to make their own Game Pass competitors and make their own games, $9.99 a month. Here's the problem. I don't think they can do that. I think Microsoft is taking a massive loss on Game Pass, and they're able to do that because they are literally 10 times bigger than Sony and Nintendo.
I'm gonna stop right there too, though, because he says they all need to do their own Game Pass equivalent. Well, they all do have subscription services. Nintendo is probably the weakest one, but they give you these super old like SNES, NES games where they do have their own subscription service. And Sony has one as well, PS Now, but it's kind of trash. So they got multiple. When I think they got Sony has multiple. They have PS Now and PS Plus. So it's like, once again, it's like, why is Microsoft the bad guy again? When Sony has two of them as well, has two subscription services, but Microsoft is bad just because theirs is kind of trash, to be honest. But it's just ridiculous. Nintendo just doing their own thing. Like, why does Nintendo even care? Nintendo's selling the most right now, and Sony's probably second. Well, no, I think actually the Sony makes more money than... I'm not sure who makes more money, but I know Nintendo exclusive-wise, they sell a lot, and Sony sells a lot too, so... It's like, I'm not seeing this whole doom and gloom narrative this guy's coming with these games got to compete with Microsoft's Game Pass so badly. So, let's continue.
Combined. Nintendo makes video games and playing cards. Sony makes video games and headphones. Microsoft makes video games, the operating system that every computer in the world runs on, and the web services that every website in the world run on. They are one of the biggest companies in the world, and that means that they can use their massive cash reserves to subsidize their video game service forever.
So, I didn't know Nintendo made playing cards. I don't think that's even true or not. I don't know if this is just a joke post or not. Playing cards? I don't think Nintendo sells playing cards. Then he's on with Sony just selling like headphones. Sony sells TVs, electronics in general, and they make movies. Like Spider-Man No Way Home is like the highest selling movie of all time now, highest grossing movie of all time now. So, I think Sony is doing pretty well off. So, it's just like, I don't know if this is like a satire post right here, but this guy is just a clown at the end of the day. Like, this is just stupid. Just to say Microsoft's doing a monopoly right now. It's so dumb. Like, I don't know if this is a joke or troll video. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
It's the Amazon strategy. They can take a loss on every single video game they sell through Game Pass forever until they have wiped out the competition, and Sony and Nintendo cannot do shit about it. Actually, I should say I think Nintendo will be fine, because Nintendo has Mario and Zelda, and everyone loves Mario and Zelda. But I think
So he says Nintendo is going to be fine then. So he acknowledges that Nintendo is going to be perfectly fine, but Sony's going to be screwed. And man, this is kind of crazy. When people say that Microsoft had no games, we live in reality. People say Microsoft had 0 games, have no great games, but now they're just a monopoly now. How does that even make sense? How can you have no games and now being a monopoly in gaming? Oh man, I wish they just pick one narrative. Like, you can't be both. You can't have no games to be a monopoly. Pick one and stick with it, Jesus.
Like, Sony can't afford to make the new God of War or Horizon Zero Dawn game just $10.
They don't have to do it. Like, who are forcing Sony to make their games $10? Nobody's forcing them to do anything.
Need those games to be $70 for them to make a profit that year. Whereas Microsoft is able to lose money indefinitely. So indefinitely that they can sell the damn console and Game Pass for just $25 a month. Now that's
Okay. When you're doing an all-access program, that's paying for the console and Game Pass as you would pay outright, pretty much. You may maybe a few bucks, but you're paying the same price you would pay for 2 years or 3 years of Game Pass Ultimate and the system. You were to buy them outright, you're just doing a layaway program. Because layaway never existed before and Microsoft decided to do it, right? Like, that's why I can't tell if this is a joke post or not, but this is definitely getting the runs on Twitter. Like, people are definitely circulating this video, so I can't tell if this is a troll video or he's sincere, but I'm getting so sick of hearing this monopoly word about Microsoft. It's just ridiculous. When Microsoft finally decides to compete, it's all of a sudden a monopoly. It's just ridiculous.
An amazing deal, but it's one of those deals that we might later say, ooh, that deal was a little bit too good to be true, because it could mean that Microsoft wipes out all the competition in the video game space and then is able to jack the prices up on us and also make games that are a lot worse. And let's not forget that all this consolidation naturally is going to lead to layoffs and worse conditions for workers. Microsoft isn't trying to be...
Isn't Microsoft... I just had a video about this. Isn't Microsoft one of the best places to work? Like, what the hell? Like, Whatever. This is so stupid.
The Netflix of games, they're trying to be the Amazon of games. They want to use their massive cash advantage to undercut and dominate the entire game industry. That is bad for video game makers and
then he says the Amazon of games. Like, isn't Amazon and streaming services as well like Netflix and all these other movie companies? I don't see Amazon completely dominating the movie industry. I'm pretty sure that's what the actual government does. They actually regulate the stuff. I don't see Amazon just bite up all these different movie companies and stuff like that, but Microsoft is doing it now, so. Like, once again, I don't know if this is a real, if this is just satire, but this guy needs to stick with comedy. It's like, I don't get why. I guess this is a bad thing about gaming going mainstream now, because you got every rando could just say, and Microsoft is doing a monopoly now. This is complete and utter, complete bullocks right here. This is so stupid. It's like, if somebody posted a chart too, if they keep posting that chart of like all the different companies people own, let me see that chart. Where it's right here, this chart right here. Okay, so this is what Microsoft would own if they had Activision. This is what EA has. This is what Sony has. This is what Take-Two has. And this is Embracer Group. I don't know who Embracer Group is, but they own a lot more. Almost more than everybody else combined. But you know, Microsoft, who people say they barely have any games. They have 0 games. They have trash games. But now they just own it. They just have as much as this guy has right here. Or more. They have pretty much majority since it says Monopoly. It is so dumb. It is so, I'm so sick of these guys, bro. It's like there are legit games that would never hit a Microsoft platform because Sony puts their money down to keep those games off Microsoft's platforms. Spider-Man, Final Fantasy, Wolverine, the Street Fighter games. We know what the last one that came out, they kept it off. I'm pretty sure they probably keep the next one off too because since Sony owns Evo, but you know, Microsoft passed a publisher, some studios, and they're now bad. They're the bad guy now. This is kind of like, it's kind of similar to like a kid that's getting his ass whooped in school every day by bullies, and then when he decides to fight back, it's like the teacher stops the kid from fighting back who gets his ass whooped every day. It says, "Why are you fighting back? You're suspended now." It's like you shouldn't fight back. And this is kind of vibes I'm getting for these people right now. Like, they're completely fine with Sony buying studios. They will celebrate in the street when Sony keeps buying all these studios slowly but surely. They keep buying these studios, but what Microsoft does is bad now. It's just complete and utterly ridiculous. But let's see what people have to say about this. First question, why don't you speak up when Tencent is sitting there buying up and investing in literally hundreds of studios? Yeah, I heard this is a studio that people need to worry about, Tencent, but nobody talks about them because it's not Microsoft. Nobody even talks about Tencent, to be honest. People really don't care about Tencent, but you know, Microsoft is a bad guy, apparently. Xbox has been undercutting PlayStation for years with Game Pass, while Sony charges $7 per game. PlayStation doing just fine, Nintendo doing just fine. Yeah, Game Pass has been in the industry for a few years now. Sony is doing just fine. Oh man, it went from Xbox has no games to now Xbox is Monopoly real quick. Yeah, I don't know how that works. I don't know how Xbox can be both at the same time. I just don't get it. It's like at one minute you say Xbox is trash, they have no games. Then you say Xbox is Monopoly, they're winning all of a sudden. I just don't get it. Oh man, I wish they just pick one. Just pick one narrative at this point. People really hate the idea of Sony not being a market leader someday. Yeah, that terrifies these guys so much. And they're not even market leader. Nintendo is, to be honest. They sell the most exclusives. They exclusives sell the best. So that's what these guys really care about the most. But I guess somehow Sony still makes more money than Nintendo, so I guess that's why they're the market leader. But they are definitely terrified of the day of Sony not being high up on their perch they are right now. They are definitely terrified of that. What is it about this company that makes people this way? I just don't get it. Maybe almost a decade of saying Xbox is just trash with the Xbox One generation. They're terrified because they see this Xbox Series generation. It's not like their previous generation, and Microsoft is actually competing now, so they don't like that too much. You know, they say they want competition. They really don't. I actually enjoyed this video because it demonstrates what an incredible deal Xbox Game Pass is going to be. Microsoft pays third parties to get their games with the Game Pass to a fair deal for their game. Microsoft also allows competing services like EA Play and Ubisoft Plus on Xbox. You're letting your dislike of Microsoft cloud your judgment and putting out disingenuous arguments about how Microsoft is offering such a great deal that is bad for gaming. It's bad for gaming because gamers will love the deal. Game Pass is not losing them money as you think. Yeah, I don't understand how a service that's saving gamers money is bad now. Like, I just don't get this. So, a service that's saving actual people money is bad now. Like, he wants to pay more, I guess. Like, it's such a dumb take right here. Like, whatever. So a company last in gamer revenue, that with the acquisition still won't be close to Tencent and somehow taking over the industry. That's a reach, yeah. Oh man, how dare them choosing to compete by serving top quality games with a better cost of the market value while maintaining a profit as seen in the recent financial statement? How dare the third place of a market investing to push things forward? Game Pass in real life. February 15th, the Falconer Game Pass. I just wanted to say there's been a fantastic ride. So, okay, they love this game. Okay. Good points. Was it really, though? Was it really good points, though? What he says, good points are worth considering. Game Pass aside, what happens when the economics of Call of Duty no longer involve having to pay a 30% cut to its main platformers? More money for marketing the game, so even if you're EA with a good Battlefield, more tougher to compete. This you obviously don't care even for the Xbox platform to even own one. If he has a PC, he doesn't really need to have an Xbox, to be honest. In all honesty. He can still play their games on PC, to be honest. How does a company who will still be third even after this Activision Blizzard acquisition would be considered as anything remotely close to a monopoly? Does it look like a monopoly to you? It sure doesn't to me, yeah. It really does. It's nowhere near a monopoly. But, you know, these guys even went to the president because they're so buttered about Sony actually competing. You know, because Sony can keep games on Microsoft platform, but Microsoft do it to Sony. It's a bad thing now. All of a sudden, it's just terrible for the industry. It is really, really strange. I never seen somebody so triggered and are concerned about Sony potentially losing this place in the gaming spirit. Yeah, they want Sony to stay high on top. They are completely fine with that. Everything is awesome when Sony is on top. But when Sony gets hit a major blow, then it's bad. It's like these guys are so ridiculous, bro. They are fine with Microsoft being third place. They're completely fine with that. But if Sony gets third place somehow, then it's an issue. I don't think they're even gonna go to third place, but if they do to third place, these dudes gonna they're probably gonna lose. I don't know what these guys are gonna do if somebody ever goes third place. And he says, "This is you." Oh man. So apparently he's completely fine. He's definitely fine with Netflix having a streaming service, but you know Microsoft is bad for the industry though. Hypocrite. Yep, definitely the hypocrisy right there. Like, this is another thing with these Sony guys. They're completely fine with other people having streamers, they having subscription services, but it's just Microsoft with their subscription service. It's just the problem now. I just don't understand it. So what is this? So PlayStation guy said, "I want the Activision Blizzard acquisition to be canceled." The star just completely does a complete 180. Doesn't even listen to this guy. And yet you're so gloriously wide of the mark. Please educate yourself on the sheer size of the world development studios, developer, and publishers. Tencent also has the hands of 900 plus companies now. Embracer 80 plus. Microsoft 32 studios after the Activision Blizzard acquisition. Yeah. You know, a company with 32 studios at most is definitely destroying the industry now. Definitely monopoly. It's like, really? How many game studios are in gaming, bro? Like, I don't understand how 32 is definitely monopolizing the industry now. Like, it's so ridiculous. Sony are the ones who increased the price of the games. Yeah, that's right. Sony are the ones who increased their price to $70. It's like they are the ones who did that. Nobody else told them to increase their prices. So how is it Microsoft's fault? They want to give you a better deal, then the competition just wants to increase theirs. It's not Microsoft's fault. That's Sony's fault. They shouldn't increase their game prices then. Solution to your problems is Game Pass. Sony just makes video games and headphones. Yeah, about that. Sony has banking arm in Japan, produces electronics goods like TVs, has a monopoly on the anime market. That too, I didn't even think about that. They do have the big hole in the anime market. Pretty much all these anime streaming services are owned by Sony, but Microsoft bad. And they own music too. Wow. This is ridiculous. Like, I can't. These guys are clowns. Ever since the Flashdance stuff, you've been in a downward spiral. So he's part of this nonsense right here. Or is he making a joke? He looks like James Corden. I can't tell. Y'all keep throwing out the word monopoly, but I do think you know what it means. How can you be monopoly and yet be in third place? Doesn't make any sense. You're monopoly, but you're losing right now. I'm pretty sure you play Monopoly. If you're losing, you can't just be winning. You can't win and lose at the same time. But okay. Man is hurt and silly. Sony has a sub-service coming in 10 service games coming by 2026. They'll be just fine. Yeah, I think Sony will be just fine. And it's funny, like how 3/4 of his video he says Nintendo should be worried, but then yeah, Nintendo's probably gonna be just fine too. So it's like it's so dumb. Oh, once again, Adam is wrong, like he was on a lot of his shows. I don't know. Is this the new clout for like these different celebrities and comedians to talk about Xbox and Game Pass together to talk about these guys? I don't know. Maybe this is a new clout chasing thing we're here to do. Oh no, we're gonna see the Saturday Night Live comedians who got kicked off that show, like in past times, start talking about Xbox and Game Pass now to get people to talk about their stupid videos. Apparently Adam doesn't know anything about video games. He surely doesn't. Or being very disingenuous. Either way. I'm gonna conclude it right here, bro. You can read this on your own. People were definitely against this, what this guy said right here. He's only getting traction because I guess he's a comedian who talked about Microsoft. But this guy is a clown. He obviously doesn't know too much about video game. Just saying Xbox is monopoly now is so ridiculous at the end of the day. There's so many game studios out there. I don't think Microsoft's pure 32 or 33 studios are going to definitely dominate the industry right now, like these guys are saying. But gonna conclude it right here. Definitely want to see your thoughts down below. Leave a like if you like this video. And as always, thanks for watching and peace. Wow, 22 minutes long. Jeez.